I literally had a 5-minute gap there to get the drone up in the air, and now it's raining again. So because today is a cold, wet and just generally grim day, I thought this would be a good opportunity to take the care package that Pro Bike Kit sent me and make a little video about race day nutrition. So when I received these items, I said in the vlog, do you want me to do a video about nutrition? And the overwhelming majority said yes. I would like to know more about your nutrition, your race day nutrition. So here it is, my race day nutrition program / plan. So one of the key elements to maximum performance is hydration. If you're not hydrated, you will simply not perform at your best. You'll start cramping up, your energy levels will be much lower, and you just generally won't be able to perform that well. Now, hydration is a little bit more complex than just simply waking up on the race day morning and making sure you're drinking plenty and going to the toilet and peeing clearly. We need to take it back a little bit, and hydration for optimal performance starts about 3 or 4 days before the actual event. You need to make sure your daily intake of fluids and of water starts to increase from about 4 days leading up to the event. This way you are able to hydrate your body on a cellular level. Ways you can help your body to hydrate to the maximum level and to make sure, as I said, to hydrate yourselves from a cellular level is by drinking some electrolytes in the days leading up to the race. Just for reference, I'm using the one that Pro Bike Kit sent me, which is a My Protein Electro Fuel, but my personal favorite electrolytes are by High Five. I would suggest taking a couple of these on top of your daily water intake from about 4 days leading up to the event. So that is pre-race hydration covered. Now let's talk about pre-race food. So you've probably all heard, before a race or before an event, you need to carb load. And what this means in layman's terms, you want to increase your usual intake of carbohydrates, complex carb-based meals. For example, pasta. So a couple of suggestions in the days leading up to the event. I will always make sure I eat plenty of fruit during the day. I will always make sure I have proper breakfast in the days leading up to the event. So typically I will have fruit, porridge and toast. This is like my staple diet. Then throughout the day I will have plenty of fruit, vegetables, and for my main dinner meal of the day, I will have a predominantly carb-based meal, whether that be lasagna, spaghetti bolognese, or a meal based around some baked potatoes. Here, carbs really are your best friend. So now we're at the stage where all the preparation is done. You've eaten correctly, you're hydrated on a cellular level. So the day of the event, what should you be doing? So for breakfast, again, I will stick to my trusty porridge, or if you're from America, oatmeal. It's the same thing. But instead of having my typical jam on toast, I will probably switch that for egg on toast. This way it gives your body a bit of protein for breakfast. Now, protein isn't the most easily broken down source of energy, but particularly in a long event like a long sportive or a race, it is definitely important to include some protein aspect before the event. You're not going to need much of it because your predominant fuel source is going to be fats and carbohydrates, but a little bit of protein is definitely going to improve performance over a long race or a long sportive. Now, before the race starts, you want to go back to your trusty electrolytes, and my sort of benchmark is drink one 500 milliliter bottle of electrolytes before the race actually starts. This allows your body to be pre-hydrated because, let's face it, during a race it's not always easy to drink as much as you should do. So if you're pre-hydrated, it gives you a little bit of sliding room just in case you can't get the proper liquid intake in. So now you might be thinking, how much should I be drinking during a race? In an ideal situation, you want to be drinking one 500 milliliter bottle per hour. I will be the first to admit that I'm not very good at this, and particularly during a race when the pace is high, it's not always easy to get those fluid intakes in. So I would say drink little and often whenever you can. Now it's time to talk about the other types of nutrition during a race. And to talk about this, I'm going to use these two items. First off, let's talk about the energy bars. The typical recommendation is to eat one energy bar every sort of hour to 1 hour 30, but again, for me especially, I always find it hard to eat bars during racing, so I sort of just eat small bits whenever I can. Whenever there's a little bit of a lull in the pace, maybe we've just caught the breakaway and the pace has been knocked off for a couple of miles, try and have a mouthful or two of an energy bar. Little and often is the key here. Now let's talk about energy gels. I exclusively use these for racing. I don't use these in training whatsoever. My personal belief is if I just use these, if I just restrict these to racing, I will get more of a hit from this gel than if I take it all the time in training. My body won't be expecting this kick, so when I do take it, I will feel a significant benefit. And this is something I highly recommend doing. So when should you take a gel? I would say anywhere between every 30 minutes and 1 hour of the race. Again, somewhere between that time frame where the pace is a little bit easier and you're able to take this out of your pocket, rip the lid off and get it in. Gels are much easier to consume, so you can eat these anywhere as long as like you're not sprinting out of a corner. When the pace is fairly high, you are still able to consume a gel. Okay, now the race is finished. Hopefully you did very well. So immediately after the race, you should take some form of protein recovery. This one here is a My Protein Recover Fuel. This one is a fairly inexpensive option because protein recovery often does cost quite a lot. And I've been using it for a couple of days now, and I have to say it is very nice. All brands are different, but for this particular one, you take one and 3/4 scoops, mix that with 500 milliliters of water, and that provides you with 30 grams of protein. You want to take this within about 20 to 30 minutes after the race is finished. So my suggestion would be, before you set off to the race, prepare a bottle of recovery drink. As soon as you finish the race, get that drink down you. Now this 20 to 30 minute period is when your body is able to absorb the most amount of protein and the most amount of nutrients. So this time frame is really important. And that is pretty much it. That's race day nutrition covered, or that's how I do it anyway, and it works for me. Oh, and then obviously the evening after the race, you want to have a good, solid, balanced meal. Some form of carbs in there, some form of protein, and plenty of vegetables. This way your body's going to be able to recover in the most effective way. Now I want to finish up this video by saying ProBike Kit have very kindly allowed me to create my own page on their website. So I'll put a link in the description box down below. If you want to find out what all of my favorite nutritional products are, click that link. It will take you onto a page on the website. And yeah, that's the products that I recommend. Now I know there is going to be differing opinions on this, and I was a little bit skeptical before making this video because I know nutrition is a little bit of a minefield. A lot of people have different beliefs, different opinions, but I just want to say this is my tried and tested method. I hope you were able to take something from this video. If you were, let me know in the comments and drop a like on this video. And if this is your first time watching, feel free to hit that subscribe button. But that is it from me for today. Back tomorrow with a regular vlog. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you tomorrow.